Hey all, Zook here, back with part 8 of the All Boss No Damage Guide for Scholar of the First Sin. Now, this time around, we'll be taking on two of the Great Lords, the Lost Sinner and Duke's Dear Freyja. If you remember last video, we finished up by freeing Strayed and buying the Lingering Dragon Crest ring. You're going to want to make sure that that ring is equipped here, since we are going to rely on a urine and a fall control in just a second. As we leave the cell, we'll go next to him and take this little drop down to Sinner's Rise. I'm going to cast fall control and then cast urine to distract not only the two enemies in front, but the one enemy behind. By not opening up the gate, we don't have to worry about the little Babam guys trying to ambush us. Now, you'll notice a Forlorn that invades me. Invades about halfway across the bridge right when that jailer aggroes. And I'll just cast Urine, and since I have fall control, I don't take any damage. Now, he does drop down real quick. It looks a lot scarier than it actually is. Still, that being said, if you do want to deal with that Forlorn, if you're nervous about it, you can always either equip the Lion Mage set, the Clear Bluestone ring, or even I believe that you could throw a skull to distract those Royal Swordsmen to just make it go quicker. But now that we're down here, I make sure that the sentry, as soon as the sentry cuts around the corner, that's when I know that I can go through that hole in the wall. Since the sentry can't follow me through the hole in the wall, I know I'm good. But I come up here, and there's a guy behind me chasing, but he shouldn't be able to catch us. So now we just kind of open up the door with the Bastille key, go on through. We're going to use a flame butterfly to light both of these braziers. And yeah, just lighten up both of these just to make the Sinner boss fight a little bit easier to see, and so that we can stay locked on to her. I don't believe that the Forlorn is able to actually come down here. That I don't know if he's unable to pull the lever that brings this back up, or if the AI is just programmed not to, or I mean, maybe he does and we just get through this area quickly enough that we don't have to worry. I'm not sure. But he's never given me trouble here the couple times that he has invaded me. But we'll use Aromatic Ooze since the Sinner is going to be weak to magic. And I take a couple of hits here just because. So I'm still in the process of trying to learn the no-roll strategies for Sinner. The advice that I've gotten from several streamers is that if you learn the no-roll strat, then this fight becomes much easier. That being said, since I don't have good enough reflexes to be able to do that, I am really just going to kind of roll back to the right pretty much every time that she does a swipe attack, or whenever she runs at me and pokes, then I'll roll into her. This is just one of those fights that if you're good at the fight and you know her attacks, just practice it enough and I'm sure that it will be fine. But yeah, I would say just try to finish her up. There's nothing else that we need to get from her, just we don't need any of the fragrant branches really at this point, so we don't need any of that from the chest that's after her fog gate. This chest up on the left that has a fragrant branch. But we're just gonna light the primal bonfire and take that out of here. And once we're back in Majula, we're gonna pop the rest of the souls that we've got. Been a while since we popped some. I think that we got like the Sentinels still. We have the one that we just got from the Sinner. But we're specifically going to pop these souls so that we can afford to get 19 faith and 20 attunement. So the 20 attunement is going to be the last attunement slot that we get, except for when we respec to a sorcery only mode for Alana. But 20 attunement, so 4 spell slots is kind of where we cap that off. And then we do want 19 faith. Don't just stop at the 18 that's required for Homeward. 19 is what's required for Soul Appease. So just kind of makes it one less thing to worry about when you level up. And then Endurance or Strength, it's up to you if you want to dump your souls into one of those 2 stats, but I would suggest putting them into one of them. I personally choose Endurance. But you want to make sure you have 54,000 souls still left over, because we want to buy all 3 of the Bright Bugs that just got unlocked from defeating a Great Lord. And since the next boss fight is going to be Duke's Dear Freyja, you have to buy the 3 Bright Bugs right now, or else you're going to lose out on them. So from here, once you got all that taken care of, go ahead, go to the Chapel Threshold. And you're going to see me run to the Freyja fight first, and then collect the rest of the chunks after I beat the boss. Now, it might save you like 30 seconds or so if you switch up that order, and plus it'll make you remember that you're supposed to go to Majula after you beat Freyja, just because you'll be trying to take the Primal Bonfire out. That being said, I'll walk through what I'm doing here. I just grabbed the charcoal pine resin, and again, I'm going to fight the boss first. The order of the 2 Seldora run-throughs really doesn't matter that much, but it is a little bit inefficient the way that I did it. So then I kill this crystal lizard, which has a twinkling titanite and a large titanite shard. This spider soldier, or spider citizen, is guarding a titanite chunk. And then if they do drop an item, you are going to want to pick that up, just because they do drop large shards and titanite chunks. So just kind of helps a little bit for gathering some of these resources if you pick those up. And then there's going to be one more titanite chunk that we grab before going to the boss. And just make sure, watch out, there is a forlorn that can invade here. So make sure that, okay, Homeward's ready. And I don't have the chime in the left hand equipped, but I do have it in the inventory, just in case I need to quick switch to it. I found that if you over prepare for casting Homeward, sometimes, especially if you're using the bow as much as I do, when you go to aim the bow, you'll realize, oh hey, I didn't two-hand the bow, and then you're accidentally casting Homeward when you didn't mean to. But we'll go ahead and kill this soldier, and as soon as we're safe, we're just going to go ahead and light up this flame butterfly. And then because Forlorn can invade one more time as you go into the chapel a little bit further, I light this just so that my flame butterfly doesn't go to waste if I do have to homeward out of here real quick. But I'll break this bench, or at least I should have broken the bench first, because the spiders will sometimes attack this bench and accidentally hit you. I lift that lever, pick up this gold pine resin, and I think it's a 10,000 soul. And then I'll cast Yearn to distract this spider guy. And then from here, it's just set up for the boss fight. So if you're setting up for the boss fight, you will want to have the charcoal pine resin in your inventory, but you don't put it on the rapier yet. We're going to wait until we're in the boss arena to actually equip the resin. And then cast Fall Control. drop down. Cast that Yearn so that the peasants that are chasing you with the pickaxes don't come after you while you're going through the boss fog. And then Freyja, as far as I can tell, will always start out by trying to stomp you with her legs. And doing one of the 3 leg stomp variations, whether that's just the 2 straight up leg stomps, whether there are the 2 follow-ups or 2 follow-ups and she'll swipe her body at you. But basically just sidestep if she tries to do anything with her legs or if she rears back like she's trying to spit webs at you. Right? Just go to the right like I just did. And if she gets up onto her hind legs or kind of like raises up, means that she's going for the laser, so just run around, poke the other side. I always get 4 hits and then I kind of roll away. Now, if you have a green blossom would be awesome for this fight, just because you are using up a bunch of stamina when you are running over to the other side of her body. But yeah, not a bad fight. So we pick up her great soul. And then I killed Duke Seldora. You don't have to. I just don't want him accidentally chasing me down to the primal bonfire and interrupting me. And then light the primal bonfire. And again, if you had remembered to collect the chunks first, then you would actually take this primal bonfire back to Majula, where you would then upgrade your rapier to +10 because you would have the upgrade materials for that. For me, I homeward boned back to this chapel threshold, and then I'm going to go up the ladder and talk to Cromwell. And Cromwell has 2 things that are going to help us when we're collecting Titanite chunks in Harvest Valley. The Poison Bite Ring you want to buy, and the Miracle Perseverance you'll also want to buy. Both of those things raise your poison resist, so those in conjunction with the poison moss that we picked up when we were going down the pit are all going to make sure that we don't get poisoned as we collect chunks in Harvest Valley. But for now, I'm going to kill these hollow mages and then shoot the crystal lizard once I know that this orb isn't going to hit me. Should take 3 iron arrows. And then come off to the side here and run off. And then nobody is shooting at me, so grab that Titanite chunk and twinkling and homeward out. So, again, at this point, you should be going back to Majula once you have these upgrade materials so that you can upgrade your rapier to +10. There are 2 specific enemies in Drangleic Castle where the +10 rapier makes it a lot less sketchy. But that being said, the whole next video is devoted to Drangleic Castle and making it past the Dragon Riders to get the key to the King's Passage. So, I will catch you in the next one.